This will be the last video in the series for the Skylight. Taking the 4-foot skylight and turning it into a 2-foot skylight for the roof with the built-up roofing and the rock or the gravel roof. And I just kind of wanted to give you an idea how I used the paintbrush to spread the tar around. I understand it would be kind of self-explanatory, but there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of speed things up here. Show you how I put the rocks on. Just kind of grab a hand. You could use a cup too. Grab a small cup, whatever you want, whatever is going to be more control for you, and just kind of spread it out. And if you put too much on, that's really not going to be that big of a deal. You know, if you put too much on, you can always come back after it's dry. You know, maybe in another month or something, come back and move some of the rocks around. So I don't think that would be too big of a deal if you put too much on. I don't think it's going to affect the water flowing off the roof. It's just going to go around something, kind of, if it was a little higher. But there I'm just kind of spreading it with a brush. And this, of course, is just going over the area where I was worried about a possible leak. It was leaking about where the paintbrush is, I believe. So I'm just kind of going to coat over this area just for a little added insurance. But there you go. You can see, just kind of sprinkling it out. And when you're using the tar, make sure you've got some older clothes on. You know, some gloves. You know, the tar, you can clean it off. But I actually ruined a pair of socks. And I really didn't even, kind of wasn't paying attention. I was using the brush, and I leaned the brush up against my shoe and my sock, and that was the end of that. So, pair of socks, not a big deal, but if you have some clothes that you are fond of, I wouldn't use them, of course, with this stuff. I mean, this tar, and again, it's kind of, messy product. I remember bringing the can to the paint, to the place where I got the roofing materials, and I got the tar can in the back of my truck, the old one. If you want to look, let me bring it in. They were like, no, absolutely not, keep it out there, we don't want it in here. And I don't blame them. I knew they didn't want it in there anyway, but there it is. It's self-explanatory. Smear the stuff out. Maybe you could use a roller instead of a brush. That might work. But you are going to have to make sure that it's coated on there. That's kind of why I like using the brush, is it gives it enough, probably 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch of tar in there. So there it is, just kind of filling in the areas. And again, if you need to add more rock, you run out of rock for some reason, just go get some. It's nice to have the rock embedded into the tar. That way it's not going to go off of the roof when it rains. I mean, that's probably the worst thing with these. With this type of rock roof is about every other year I got to go up and vacuum all the rocks out of the gutter. But at least it's not a steep pitched roof. I don't got to get a ladder. I can drag the vacuum around up on top of the roof. So, and there it is, just kind of filling it in. Self-explanatory, and I could probably stop the video right here, but what the heck, I got a little more footage to show you, and I will be done with the series. If it helps, let us know. Hit the old thumbs up button if you like it. I don't think there are a lot of videos out there on this type of roofing, and I think it's just because it's not that popular.